Hello, everybody. Um, Guys, as soon as you come on, make sure you give this live a thumbs up. I am having technical difficulties. My original webcam isn't loading, guys. The camera on this laptop is not great, and for some reason I'm having some technical difficulties. Hopefully I can have it resolved. So welcome, guys. Welcome to my live stream. As soon as you come in, guys, make sure you give my live stream a thumbs up. That's the entry fee to get in here. Um, Thank you guys for coming. Make sure you give the live a thumbs up. Make sure. Thank you guys so much for coming in, and I do appreciate it. And I'm looking forward to y'all comments and your opinion on this topic. RJ and JTV, thank you so much for coming. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for stopping by. And I have Kerry in the house. Kerry, make sure that you give my live stream a thumbs up. Really, really important for those thumbs up to come in. Thank you. If you're just joining, today's topic is: should school teach LGBT plus sex education in school? All right. Welcome, Nadisha. Welcome. I am about to get started. Let me go on my phone so I can be up to date with any comments that might come throughout this live stream. Guys, make sure you give my live stream a thumbs up. Make sure. It is very, very important. All right, guys. All right. So tonight's topic is: should schools teach LGBT plus inclusive sex education? All right. So that is tonight's topic, and I guess I've already stepped on somebody's toes because already I have a thumbs down on this live stream. All right. I already have a thumbs down on the live stream. So yeah, I have stepped on a toe, or on one toe, probably the big toe I've stepped on. It is a joy for me to step on toes. Yeah. All right, guys. All right. We are going to get started. As soon as you come in, guys, make sure you give my live stream a thumbs up. Thumbs up is the only requirement to get in here. And hit me up in the live chat to let me know that you are here. All right? All right. So, should schools teach LGBT plus inclusive sex education? So that's tonight's topic. And I am going to jump right into it. Hi, Samara. It's been a long time, darling. I haven't seen you on here. Thank you so much for coming, Samara. Thank you so much for coming, Samara. Make sure you give my live stream a thumbs up. Hi, Daniela. Thank you so much for coming, darling. See, I delivered on my word, Daniela. I am here today and I'm giving you your live stream. All right, darling? Make sure you give my live stream a thumbs up, guys. Make sure. All right, and you can get acquainted with each other, with each other in the live chat. Okay, so today's topic is about LGBTQ inclusive sex education in schools. Should it be included? Should it not be included? All right. So for some people, they might be asking, what is sex education? So sex education helps people gain the information, skills, and motivation to make healthy decisions about sex and sexuality. All right. So that is what, in essence, that is what sex education is. It helps to gain information, skills, and motivations to make healthy decisions about sex and sexuality. All right. So, with that being said, since we've got that definition out of the way, we know what sex education is. And we are going to go a bit more into some other intricacies or some more facts about sex education, and then we will delve into what should be in it, what should not be in it, and all of that good stuff. All right. All right, let me see what y'all are. LOL, yes, I can see that it took you long enough though. Daniela, Daniela, it may be long, but but I'm sure. You're sure that I will come. And I promise you, Daniela, that it won't take me this long to go live again. All right. I hope to do better this month in terms of the live streams, but my job, my schedule at work has been, all over the place. Daniel, I say, LOL, this is Kaya tonight. Danny is a bit under the weather. Oh, Kaya, thank you so much for joining. I've heard so much about you. Thank you so much for joining. Hey, Daniela. Hi, Samara, not Denelton. She says hi, though. Okay. All right. Thank you so much for filling in for her. It's evening time, by the way. Okay. All right. Wonderful. It's night for me. It's 8:07 p.m., guys. All right. So we're going to continue with tonight's discussion while a few persons um, join us. So facts about comprehensive sex education is sex education is a high quality teaching and learning about broad varieties of topics related to sex and sexuality, exploring values and beliefs about those topics and gaining the skills that are needed to navigate relationships and manage one's own sexual health. Sex education may take place in schools, community settings, online, da 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 da. All right. So we know all of that. So, um, where do I start? So, sex education covers, what should I say in essence? Sex education covers a very wide, a very broad topic. My first question to you guys is, do you think that sex education in general, do you think that it should be taught in school? That is my first question. Before we get into the nitty gritty of whether LGBT should be inclusive or not, before we even get to that point, I want to find out y'all's opinion on whether sex education should be on the curriculum for schools. All right? Should this be a part of the curriculum for schools? Guys, let me know in the comment section. Do you think that sex education should be a subject area in school? Let me know in the comment section if you think that sex education should be on the curriculum. Let me hear what y'all have to say. Hi, Tiana. Thank you so much for joining. I know you gave me a thumbs up already, but I'm just reminding you, just in case it slipped your mind. So the question, guys, do you think that sex education should be a subject area that is taught in school? So we're going to start from that question, and we are going to work our way up to the big question of the night. So first of all, I want your opinion. Should sex education be a subject um, in school? Just to start with. I am looking for y'all's comments. Come on, guys. All right, so this is the question. Should sex education be a subject in school? Would you want your child to go to school and this is a subject that is being taught in school? So we're going to start from the basics and then we're going to get to the big question of whether or not LGBT inclusive should be added. But we have to start from the beginning. And do you think sex education should be in school at all? All right, so let me go to the comment section and hear what y'all have to say. Daniela is saying all good things, I hope, at Stacy. Yes, 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 Daniela. And Samara, yes, I think so. Okay, so you think, so you're saying yes, you think that sex education should be taught in school. Um, Samara is saying, I didn't get that when I'm in school. We had one class of it, was very broad, just the one time and done. Okay. Okay. I I never recall having sex education is in school. So for those who went to school in Jamaica like myself, sex education wasn't something that was on the curriculum. I am very old, so it might just be in my time that it was not taught. But for those who are back home now, let me know in the comment section if sex education is something that is a part of the curriculum in Jamaica. But when I was going to school, even during high school, sex education was never a part of the curriculum. Um, all right. Tiana is saying yes, sex ed should be taught on the grounds that one of the things that comes with puberty is that you start feeling for the opposite or same sex or both. Okay. All right. So Tiana is saying yes, she thinks that sex education should be taught in school. Guys, let me know. I don't know why y'all are so shy. I have a few persons on the live stream, but not so many persons commenting. This is a safe place where we share our opinions. And of course, we respect each other's opinion, though they may differ. Um, we do respect each person's opinion. Tiana is saying I learned about period and STI in guidance and HSB. Oh yes. Oh, I totally forgot about guidance class, Tiana. Yes, we did have guidance and counseling class, but during my time in high school, the guidance counselor was so overwhelmed in her office. So most times, our guidance and counseling class would have been more like a free session, if you get what I'm saying. Nothing usually happens during that time of school for me. Children should know what to expect when they get to a certain age. I am going to get to that part about age. Tiana, expect from their bodies. That is all right. So since you touched on the topic of age, Tiana, my next question was going to be or is at what age or at what grade in school should your child start to have sex education class, right? Because all just as though you would not teach a grade 4 student, a grade 1 student algebra, I believe that it is with this same thought in mind that you will not bring sex education to a third grade class, if you follow what I'm saying. So let me know in the comment section, guys, at what age or what grade do you think that sex education should be a part of your child's educational curriculum? That is if you believe that sex education should be a part of the curriculum. So if you say yes to sex education in school, at what grade do you think it is appropriate um, for teachers and to explore that topic or for it to be brought across to your child in school? All right. Let me see. Tiana is saying expect from there. Okay, I read that one already. Um, Samara is saying exactly. Exactly to what? Samara, I don't follow. Um, Samara is saying, but then some go through things much earlier. Um, Remember, Samara, there is no way for the school system to fix every situation. The school system will never ever cover everything. And this is why parents, the persons who made the children, their role is of utmost importance. All right? So some are going to go through puberty before some. Of course, some people are going to mature before some. But at what grade should, if you believe that sex education should be a part of the school's curriculum, but at what grade then does this student or your child take this class? Because there is no way on earth you could introduce this to a grade 4 student, a grade 3 student, or what have you. At what age, at what grade? um I want to hear your opinion. Third grade is not bad. No, Samara. Not third grade. Do you, what age is a third grade student? What does a third grade child needs to know about sex? I want you to back this up for me because, Samara, I do not agree with this. Third grade is absolutely bad. I think that age is way too early for sex education. Guys, let me know in the comment section if you agree with Samara about that third grade thing. Bovia. Hi, Bovia. Thank you so much for coming, darling. Make sure that you give my live stream a thumbs up, Bovia. Um, Make sure you give it a thumbs up. Guys, if you're in the live chat and you haven't given me a thumbs up as yet, make sure you click that X at the right. Give the live stream a thumbs up and come right back in, guys. Thank you so very much. So thank you so much for joining, Bovia. All right, let me see if I can keep up with the comments. Samara is saying all the kids are growing up much faster now. I understand that. I totally understand that. But a child is still a child. No matter, it doesn't matter the speed at which they're growing and all of that. I think that a child is still a child. There are so many children over here that looks older than I am. They are so grown, but they're still a child. So there still has to be some limited. I think third grade is pushing it. Samara, I still can't come to terms with that. Tiana is saying sex ed kind of start from basic school in a sense when they start talking about good and bad touch. Um. Uh, do they teach that in school? I did not know. What I can remember from basic school is just learning the body parts, which is normal. Learning the eyes, the nose, the all of that, which most kids going into school would already know the eyes, the nose, and of course your mother tell you where someone shouldn't touch you and all of that. And that's one of the points that I want to make. I am of the opinion that sex education is a parental thing. Now that you have touched based on this, Tiana, guys, let me know in the comment section if you agree with me or not. But for me, I've been asking the question whether or not sex education should be on the curriculum for school. I do not think that sex education should be a part of the curriculum. I think that as a parent, that is your job. That is 100% your job to sit your child down and talk to your child and educate your child on I believe that we rely too heavily on the government or too heavily on the school system to teach our children or to educate them on what things they should know or things they should are the teachers gonna come home and tell you to keep your room tidy and to wash the dishes and to bring out the garbage? I sincerely believe that sex education is the parents' responsibility. I don't believe that a teacher should be sitting in a classroom teaching sex education. I think it's personal, and as someone has mentioned before, that some persons are going to mature before some persons are going to reach puberty before some. What is it? You understand what I'm saying? I think this is a personal matter, and I think that this is a matter that should be handled by parents. If parents want to go get the necessary information so they can better explain it to their children, then by all means, go get the help to come and help your child. This is a one-on-one situation, and I don't think it should be widespread. Just like if I was sitting in a math class and they're teaching algebra, I am just there because I have to be physically be there. Am I really listening? No. But I think I that is just my opinion. I think that sex education is a parental responsibility. Thank you so much, Gillette, for joining. Thank you so much for coming. Make sure that you give my live stream a thumbs up. If you haven't done so already, go ahead and click on that X in the right corner. Give the video a thumbs up and hit that live chat and come right back in. Gillette, I need to hear your opinion. Do you think that sex education should be taught in school? All right, that is the question that we're currently working through. And if you do believe that sex education should be a part of the educational curriculum, at what grade do you think they should start learning about sex education? Stacy, you should remind me. I'm late. Interesting topic. What do you mean I should remind you? I don't follow Bovia. I don't follow. Bovia, if you're remind you that I have a live stream. Bovia, all you'd have to do is if that's what you're talking about, you just need to turn the notification bell on my channel, so therefore you'll be notified whenever I upload a video, or if I schedule a live stream, you will be notified if that's what you're talking about. RJ and J's TV is saying, when I did my teaching degree some years ago, I did a short course in guidance and counseling, and LGBT sex ed was a topic we looked at briefly. Okay, that is very useful information. So you're saying even though this wasn't your course of study, you looked over it briefly. Okay, all right. But even though you said briefly, was it enough information for you to be able to help a child in on a topic such as that? So Gillette is saying that grade 6. Okay, that's a pretty decent grade in comparison to grade 3, as Samara had said before. Even though I don't think it should be taught in school, that doesn't mean I can't come to an amicable agreement. So grade 6 is a better option than 3rd grade. Samara is saying 8 or 9. These kids have access to the internet. They could see all this stuff on their own. And that is true. But also remember, Samara, parents bought those devices. Parents buy the phone, parents buy the tablets, the iPods. All these devices are bought by parents. Who pays the internet bill at the house? Who pays the internet bill? Who bought those gadgets? And this is why the onus is on the parents. The onus is always on the parents. It is so important for them to sit down and talk with them, um, and go over all of this. I don't think this is the job of a teacher to talk on sex education. So I do agree with you, Samara, that they do have access. They do have access. Yes, they do. And this is why it is important, for parents to talk with their children. And parents, if they are paying attention to their children, they will realize the changes in, they will know when puberty is coming on and all of that. So, yeah. RJTV is saying, I think grade 4 is a decent grade to introduce the topic to students. These kids are way more exposed than we think. I don't believe in that grade 4, RJ and JTV. But I can agree that these kids are way more exposed than we think. If you're going to bring it into the school system, I think grade 6 is a good grade. The parents should have been talking to their children about this. So when at grade 6, when this is introduced into the classroom, this would not have been a new topic, for them, because their mom or dad or whomever would have gone over, such a topic with them, given that, that, they are so exposed, because these kids are smart. So this is something that, should be dealt with, um, at home. Samara is saying, especially West Indian culture, there are nasty men and all those things. To hide and shy from those things don't help. What are the things that don't help? I'm trying to understand fully what you're saying. I understand that the West Indian culture is very different, as all other cultures will differ, in some ways than the other. But for the West Indian culture that we, most of us, share, yes, it is different. There are nasty men in every culture, and nasty women too, in every culture across the spectrum. So I don't fully grasp, the entirety of, your comment, Samara. Um, from basic school, should students from basic school, children should start learning about aspects of sex ed. The truth is, some older children might bring certain vibe to your younger children, so it is imperative that certain things should be okay. Um, okay, Tiana, basic school, that is cutting it too far. From basic school, it should be taught. Tiana, basic school, Tiana. Um, wow, no, exactly, Tony. The basics should be taught. Bad touch and good touch doesn't have to be full, sex talk. Okay, but why in school though? Why should we are talking about, should it be taught in school? Why in school? Why not at home? That is my question. I'm not saying that because from I was pretty young, I learned that nobody should touch me in a certain place and all of that. I learned that pretty young. And if you look at it, it is definitely a form of sex education. But I did not learn that in school. I did not have to go to school to learn that. I knew that before I started going to school. Um, so I am not against, kids learning the basics, bad touch, good touch, and all of that. But I don't think you need to wait until they're in school for them to learn that. Um, My daughter learned about good and bad touch in basic school. Tiana, Tiana, you should have taught your daughter that. She should have known that before going to basic school. Um, for the record though, Stacy, we do introduce sex at grade one in the health and family life curriculum today. Why? Why? Why though? I don't understand why. I don't know if I'm old school. I just feel like this is something that parents should cover. I don't I just it for some strange reason it doesn't sit well with me. I don't know why. Um but anyways, let me run through the other comments before we go to the big topic. The big question of the night. I don't plan to be on here for more than an hour, so we are at the half mark. We're at 31 minutes, and I don't anticipate to be on here for more than an hour. Tony saying right, Samara. Uh, Samara is saying, but there should be some teaching about it. Yes, there should be teaching, but at home. At home. I think sex education should be something done at home. It has long past that because it's being taught in school. So even though I am old school and I believe that sex education should be something that is taught at home by parents, it has long past that stage and is being taught in school as RJ has mentioned that they introduce sex at grade one in health and family life. But that doesn't sit well with me why they would be talking about sex education at grade one. At grade one, I knew nothing about sex. I had no, cause I probably not even did know what sex is. At grade one, um, not all parents can have that talk, Stacy. Speaking from experience, but I get what you're saying. Yeah. I get what you're saying as well, Tiana. But it's that long and hard talk. Um, but it's one of those tough things that has to be taught. From my personal experience, I don't. Let me put a disclaimer out there. I don't have a child, but I am the product of teenage pregnancy. My mother had me at the age of 16. As a result, I grew up with my grandmother because my mother was a child in all aspects. My mother was 16 when she had me. Um, I don't think she was equipped with the right information about sex. And I'm not saying that even if she was, that could have stopped her from getting pregnant at 16. Because with these, it doesn't matter what you teach them, what is to be will be. Okay, you could give your child the best, they will do what they want to do. I understand that. Um, but from personal experience, I had a I had a teenager mother, right? My mother had me at 16. So my mother, so little story before we continue. So when I started my menstrual cycle, it was my mom who knew first. She knew before I knew. So it was one evening I was laying on the bed and I was using the laptop, right? And I was wearing a short skirt. So my legs were up like this and the laptop was rest on my legs. So because I was wearing a skirt, now when she came through the back door, she was able to see my panties, because I was wearing a skirt. And I saw she made a double take like that. And I saw her put down everything and told me to get up and come here. When I went to her, she asked me if I felt something, and I was like, no. Put, long story short, um, that was the beginning of my menstrual cycle. So my mother first found out about it. Um, and it was at that point, I guess, it came home for her. And that's when I started to get the talk. Um, Now looking with hind view, looking back, I believe that that talk should have come before that, but there's no manual to parenting. There's no manual. So, however, the talk came with crying because, of course, my mother got pregnant with me when she was 16. So, of course, like any mother, she did not want that for me. So I got the crying and the explanation that, oh, she had me at 16 and it was rough and it was hard and she didn't get to do all that she wanted to do education wise and all of that. And my grandmother had to now step in and be mother and grandmother at the same time. And I got the talk. I got the talk so often. Was it, does my mother have a first degree? No. But guess what? She is a parent and I am her first child. So she had to jump head on and she had to try or say it in bits and pieces, however she could. And she started little by little. She let me know that because of whatever I am here. So parents have to find creative ways to talk to their children. However, little by little, they do listen. They do hear you. They hear you. Do they do what they want to do? Yes, they do. But you have to start however you can. And this is why I'm a strong believer that sex education is for home. It's a never for school. All right. Samari said, well, teachers teach health class. That's a part of it too. Okay. All right. Um, exactly, Tiana, both. All parents have that talk. Um, Tamara is saying, personally, I haven't gotten that talk when I was small, and I know a lot of people just the same as me. Okay. All right. Hold on. I'm trying to catch up with the comments, guys. Samara said, me want call in. I can't manage the typing. Okay, Samara. So I'm going to go ahead and drop the link in the chat box, Samara. So you can join me. Join me on here. Let me just quickly run through the comments. And then I'm going to go ahead and drop the link, Samara, so you can join me on here. I didn't get the talk. Wow. I got the talk. Was it structured like a lesson plan? No. But I got it little in bits and pieces. Little by little. Well, I won't want to add the kids on that topic. Don't want to be blamed for whatever actions happens. Let parents do their work. I totally agree. This is a parental thing. I do agree with you, Bobby. Yes, Samara, trust me. LOL, the typing thing now work. Okay, so I'm gonna drop the link, guys. So for those who want to join, yes, Stacy. Yes, at Stacy, that's what I was asking. I'm going to drop the link, guys. I just want to be caught up with the comments. Yeah, parents buy these things, but who's to say the parents are home monitoring 24/7? Samara, is their children. It is their children. It is their responsibility. They cannot monitor. You will never be able to monitor your child's doing 24/7. It is impossible. It is impossible for you to monitor them 24/7, but you must do what you can. You must do what you can. Um, I was saying sixth grade, but their parents should educate them before the teachers. Exactly, Jolette. Thank you so much for that comment, Jolette. Samari is saying, I agree with RJ to start at grade 3 or 4 isn't terrible. All right. Samara is saying, I know people who've been involved in activities from they were 8, 9, and 10 years. Oh my God. You realize that these are babies? 8, 9, and 10? I can't imagine my nieces and nephews being involved in anything like that at that age. At the same time, you have some parents that will go mad at the child and threaten them, saying if you be gay, you're go dead and such on. Yes, you have very ignorant parents. Um, yeah, ignorant parents do exist. So yeah, Bovia, um, hiding and shying away from sexual topic doesn't help anyone. It does not help at all. It is better to plan and touch base on it little by little with the children, little by little. You ever hear the saying that say every little make a muckle? Yes, little by little. Um, LOA, same aspect, Stacy. All right, Tiana. Bovia is saying kids are smart nowadays and very observant. Yes, yes. They already know. They already know about sex, so might as well, y'all educate them, talk to them, guide, try as best as possible to guide them, to steer them in the right direction because they already know. So you have to be that light, be that guiding path. Samara is saying, why not taught in school? Not everyone has or had parents to teach those things to them. You have a very valid point here. Yeah, this part is really tough. And because of I might reconsider a little, I still believe it's a parent's job wholeheartedly, but you're gonna have some who do not have parents at home. They just have someone who gave birth to them, and that's it. Um, Thank you so much for coming, Nicola. Thank you so much, darling. I hope you gave my live stream a thumbs up already. Bovia is saying, I have seen girls younger kissing each other and having bad touch. So think from they are young. Parents need to teach in their children because they live with them 24/7. Exactly. They only see teachers for a few hours out of the day. This is something that should be taught from they are young. Just like when you're growing up, your mother tell you that nobody should touch you in certain places and all of that. The laptop is about to die, guys. Um, Let me plug it in. Yeah, this should start in the home and probably at grade 6, probably, if I'm gonna reconsider. All right, good. All right, so we're now plugged in because the laptop was about to die. All right. All right. Okay, Stace, let's reason. If children start school about 2 or 3, at what age do you propose we start telling them since you said before school? All right. If my memory serves me right, Tiana, from I was very, 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 very young, and my mother is giving me a shower, she always questions me. Who touched your hair? Who touched you there? Just, checking to make sure, she'll laugh with me, make me feel comfortable and so that I will be willing, to talk whether or not someone touched me in a particular area. And from about 3 or 4, she would tell you, don't nobody touch you here. No, it's a subtle little things because they're at a tender age. As they get older, you touch base a little bit more and a little bit more and a little bit that are age appropriate. Just as how kids have access to the internet, parents have access to the internet just the same. There are so many resources online. They can Google it as well. Okay? So so from as early these kids, they are very settled. You can start from the age that you think is appropriate. It is your child. It is your responsibility. So however you think is appropriate, whichever age, then you can start um from there. All right? From there. All right, so I have LGBTIQ videos. I've watching for a while now, and I think you seem to be against school teaching sex ed from an early age. Not all parents are gonna talk to their child about this topic. I never got the talk. No, that's a parent's problem. You cannot depend on the school system to teach your child everything. The school, the society never send you to have any children. So therefore, when you've made the decision to have sex, unprotected sex, you know the consequences of that. You might get pregnant. You will bring forth a child after 7, 8, or 9 months. And of course, you know that this child is your responsibility wholeheartedly, 100%. Okay, follow so far? This child is your responsibility. 100%. School cannot do everything. So as a parent, what do you do as a parent? If everything must be taught in school, what is the parent's job? Just to put them up to sleep somewhere? Huh? Just to put the kids up uh, and not because I might not agree with a topic, that does not mean we cannot discuss it on here. So yes, I do not believe that school should be teaching sex education from an early age. I do not believe that. I do not believe some people on here believe that it should be the case. I don't believe. And if I am going to come to a middle ground, I don't think it should be taught before grade 6. All right? Everything pre grade 6 is parental. All right? All right. Let me see if I can catch up. I remember a boy came to me and my mother and my other coworker. He said, I am a gay. We didn't say anything because we are to be careful because I don't want, if we say anything, my name call and I'm in trouble. I don't think I understand fully what you're saying, Bovia. I think I'm going to drop the link in the chat box right now for anyone who wants to come on screen and join me on here to share your 2 cents. Most mothers will never have that talk with their children. Not all parents will have the same mothers as you. And I do agree with that. That's why they have a father as well. That's why they have a father as well. Um, yeah. It is rough. It is rough, but yeah, just like a teacher will have a class of students, will all of them learn what she's teaching? No. It's the same thing. Everybody's not gonna have the same parents who will talk to them. So based on your belief, then LGBT sex ed in your view should never be taught in schools. Then I am going to get to that. Tony and Tiana say, I agree the talk should come before the experience. It will be overwhelming for me, period. Start. And you're gonna come rush me now to know all that comes with it. Tiana, Tiana, I need you on screen. I'm gonna drop the link. I need you on screen, Tiana. So I have Tiana and Samara that will be coming up shortly. Line up yourself, Tiana. You'll be on screen in a moment. Samara, line up yourself as well. RJ saying, I had to sit them down together and talk to them about their feelings. When the parents were called in, the two girls got beaten by their mothers. Now, if the parents were educated enough, okay, I do agree with you. Parents should be educated. Um, the parents would have dealt with it differently. Yes, um, definitely. Here still listening and learning. All right, thank you so much, Nicola. Yes, Stacy, not be surprised. It's real kids start earlier than that too. Wow. That's so hard to think about. Who teaches that parent? Who teaches that parent about sex? You need to remember that even my parent was really old when I knew them. My father was over 60. Mother was never there. Who is it that is there to teach someone like me? Um, your mother, even though she was over 60, let's reason this out. It is sex that brought you here. So your mother can teach you the little that she knows. Okay? She can talk to you about the little that she knows. While she may not be equipped with all the information, she can talk to you about the little that she knows because she did at least a little something to get you here. So even if it's general information, they can start somewhere. They can start somewhere. Older folks are wiser than you think. Older folks only form quote unquote fool when it is convenient for them. The older they are, the wiser they are. They may not be as eloquent or have all the big words in the vocabulary, but they know they can talk to you in whichever way that they can. All right. So the link is in the link, guys, is in the chat box. And with all that, we are now going to go to the topic of the night, the big topic of tonight. Um, should school should school teach LGBT plus inclusive sex education? All right, so the link is in the description if you want to join me on here. Samara was saying to drop the link. Now the link is there for you to join me on screen, or whomever wants to join, just to share your 2 cents if you think typing is too much. Um, hmm, all right. Guys, I'm not seeing anybody joining me on here. I'm not seeing a request popping up on my end. I need to hear y'all's opinion. All right, so this is the big question of the night. So should school teach LGBT plus inclusive sex education? All right, so let me give my 2 cents. While I'm waiting on anybody who wants to join the live stream, you can click the link in the chat box. So should schools teach LGBT plus inclusive sex education in school? All right. So here's my 2 cents. So while I do not believe that sex education should be a part of the curriculum, even though that's what I think, um, it is happening, regardless of my opinion, regardless of my viewpoint on this. I have someone who is joining me on screen, Tiana. Hi, Tiana.
Hi, Stacy.
Thank you so much for joining me, darling. Thank you so much, so much, so much. Hold on. I want you to answer this question. Should school teach LGBT plus inclusive sex education? And I think you're the perfect person to answer this. Um, but I think I have one. Hi, Patrine. Thank you so much for coming in the building. I hope you paid your admission fees by clicking the thumbs up. Patrine, if you haven't, no, this is Patrice. I'm so sorry, Patrice. Make sure you click the X, give me a thumbs up, and come back in the live chat. All right. So, so Tiana, the big question of the night. So we've been dancing around and all of that. Now the question of the night is: should school teach LGBT plus inclusive sex education? Even though I did not think that sex education should be taught in school, regardless of that fact, it is being taught in school. Should this be added in?
Yes, ma'am. I do believe so.
You couldn't go against the odds. Why me think me know you go say yes?
Well, you know, so we're not gonna say
You couldn't play devil's advocate.
yes. No, I think it should be taught because at the end of the day, these people exist. LGBT, I'm saying these people like I'm not a part of the community. LGBT people exist. And from a very tender age, some persons can already, identify, as you are aware, Tony would have known that he was different from the very age of 4 or 3
Mm-hmm.
old. So I think, are you guys seeing me? I think it should be taught because sometimes based on the narrative, we're taught that, it's man and woman and that's how it's supposed to be. And if we feel otherwise, it might be a little bit emotionally draining for us because we were never taught this. So why am I experiencing this? And that is my story. I was taught that, I forgot church, I'm a Christian, and if I feel any way for woman is a sin. And for years I struggled because I said, but no, my Holy Ghost filled and water baptized. So I have demon. While
Mm-hmm.
it was taught,
Wow.
people know that lesbians do exist. So maybe if I feel some type of way, I don't have a demon, but I'm a lesbian. Why is it so scary for us to say
Mm-hmm.
yes, lesbians are out there or gay men are out there, or
Mm-hmm.
transgender people are out there, It shouldn't be a case where people feel like, oh my God,
Mm-hmm.
it's a mental illness I have. Nobody not tell me about these things. It shouldn't be. It should be out there because if you're straight, you're
Nobody
straight.
not addressing it.
If you're straight, you're straight. If you're LGBT, you're LGBT. So talking about it is not going to
Mm-hmm.
make you what you're not. Talking about it will let you know that what you're feeling is normal. You're not an outcast. You are valid. So
Okay. All
I,
right.
I think
All
it should
right.
be
Thank
taught.
you so much, so much, so much. Thank you so much for sharing your opinion with us.
Sure.
Thank you so much, Tiana. I have Bovia backstage wanting to join, so I'm going to go ahead and add her. You want to stay on screen or you'll go back to the
Sure.
comments?
I'll
Huh?
stay.
Okay, all right. So let me go ahead and add Bovia. Hi, Bovia. I think her mic is off. Bovia, can you hear me? I think Bovia's mic is off. As soon as I see her image come back, she might be away from her device. I have a comment here. Shivery Frog is saying, I don't think they should teach that. The Bible rules over everything, and Jesus reigns, and he will come and get justice. This from bottom, this front, bottom to front, bottom filth. Um, do you wish to answer that, Tiana?
Put it up back when I see it.
Hold on, let me put it back on screen.
I don't think they should teach that. Hi, Shivery Frog. Thank you so much for your comments, and it is valid because everybody has a position, everybody has a belief, and based on your comment, it
Mm-hmm.
is evident that you are a traditional Christian. I am a Christian as well. I believe in
Mm-hmm.
God, and I am LGBT. Okay. You have persons that are atheists, and you can't force them to believe in a God that they don't believe in. Similar to how they can't force you to not believe in God. So we always speak from our own perspective and we never take other people's perspective into consideration. And it is sad. We can't live for ourselves alone. If you believe that there's a God and that Jesus Christ is that God, then good for you. But for persons who don't necessarily believe that, what you can do is pray for them, but don't force your belief on other people, similar to how you wouldn't want other people to force their beliefs on you, then you shouldn't try to do that to anyone. You should try to understand people and see where they're coming from, right? And if you can have a conversation, then you do that. But to impose yourself on other people, it's not humanly, it shouldn't be done. And that is my belief.
Or it's not Christian like then.
Right.
Okay. Chivalry Frog is saying everyone has a position, but that position shouldn't be scissoring. All right. So I was doing some research, Tiana, on what is being covered in sex education in schools in general, and this might be the curriculum for in the US. But when I did some research, even though I am of the opinion that this is a parental thing, it is being taught in school. Whether I agree with it or not, it is being taught. You know. So when I went to do some research, some of the topics that are covered under sex education in school is human development, which includes reproduction, puberty, sexual orientation, and gender identity. So that tells me that LGBT inclusive is being taught, because if you're gonna look at human development and in terms of sexual orientation and gender identity, then
Mhm.
they might not have used quote unquote the abbreviation LGBT. But if they're going to cover human development, which includes sexual orientation and gender identity, then those things will come across. So do you think by discussing those it would touch base on LGBT inclusiveness in sex education if they
Yes.
speak on sexual orientation and gender identity?
Yes, it would, because usually when they're talking about gender identity, how do I put this? I mean, yes, in some sense, it will take into consideration LGBT people.
Um, Also, under the curriculum, I'm seeing that it will cover relationships, including families, friendship, romantic relationships, and dating, personal skills, in terms of communication, decision making. So, sexual health, um, sexual transmitted diseases, contraception, and pregnancy, and society and culture, including gender roles, diversity, and sexuality in the media. Because, of course, nobody is on social media like these young people. It's like it is their platform. So they will see sexuality in the media. They will have questions. Um, so since we are living in this age, in this in these times, um, it is important to put forth all the information to the children in the best way that you can, and you know what it, at this point, keeping them in the dark, not solving anything.
Not at all. Not at all. Not at all. Remember, I
So,
have a question
so
from
if they're
Maternal.
going to touch base on all these things, I guess in these school, but for some people, they might believe that teaching LGBT inclusiveness in school, meaning that, oh, they're gonna say, okay, you go be gay, you go be it. People are thinking too wild, like they're gonna say, okay, if you know, like they'll be push, you know, they're I believe that this they'll explore gender identity, because as you say, some people will not feel the same about themselves as I might be when you use a C word, cisgender.
Cisgender.
Yes, I'm learning. So even though I'm learning the vocabulary, you know. So under human development, I think that will encompass LGBT inclusiveness. Me still nothing said that we need to go to school go learn that. Me still think say your parents will go through these things with you. But
Stacy.
since that since that
Stacy.
line cross already, I think that everything should be covered in because if they're gonna go halfway in, might as well let go, because if they're gonna talk about all these other things, I guess um people from the LGBT community is a significant part of our society. Y'all live, eat, breathe, drink, walk, do everything. So yeah, at this point, might as well. Is it my first option for sex education at all? Not just, I don't want people to get this thing mixed up. I never want sex education in school. None at all. Not one bit,
Mm-hmm.
because me think that is the parents' role. But since it's already there, I don't see why that should be left out. I think it's something that should be discussed. Um, as with all the other topics that comes under that umbrella. Okay. All right. So Tiana, you have a daughter.
Yes.
So have you ever tried to even start off with a small talk? How old is your daughter? 7, 8, 9, 10?
She's 8.
She's 8. So she well past the age she start get the little talk them from mommy.
She been getting the talks, you know.
Mm-hmm.
As a member of the LGBT community, and we live with my partner that is transgender. She would have already
Mm-hmm.
known what a transgender person is, and she
Mm-hmm.
understands.
Okay.
She has always asked me how did she come about. And earlier, when she was younger, I used to use an easy answer for her that the doctor actually cut my belly to take her out, which is the case. They did actually had to cut my belly
But
to take her out.
how long can you give that answer?
But no, I don't give her that anymore. When she was young, I gave her that, but now she knows exactly how she got out, how she got in, and how
Mm-hmm.
she got out.
How she got in
Because
to eventually come out.
yes, she wants a sibling, and I told her that it's not as easy as just saying she wants a sibling, right? She went on to
Mm-hmm.
say that Uncle Tony can help me get the sibling. So I had to then, tell her that no, not necessarily because XYZ. And I went in and I told her that I need this and
Okay.
that to go together in order to the egg and the, I gave
Mm-hmm.
her the full story. I went on YouTube and I found a video of how the baby is formed in the womb because I couldn't explain that part. So I found a
Uh-huh.
video that showed you the stages and we watched it together. And I asked her if she had any questions.
See, mommy, they come get creative. Mommy, I'm not a mother, but I have sense. You're not gonna know everything, Tiana. You're not gonna be able to fluently answer every question that she will have like that. But we have so much at our fingertips. The amount of YouTube videos that are there to help to explain better what you can't explain, and you both can sit and learn at the same time. So I will commend you on that. Find the resources, get the help. Just as how if you never have any money to buy some food for her to eat, you're gonna get resourceful. You have one little bit of saltfish and a tray enough to eat, you go get resource, you go boil little macaroni and stretch it. Okay?
Yeah.
Right? You never have to stretch the food yet.
Yeah, man.
Rich girl.
Magilla.
So, as we are naturally resourceful, so when it comes to that topic, I don't see how we're gonna be stagnant and not be just as resourceful and try to get the information across and all of that. Anyways, I didn't plan to be on here for more than an hour, and it's an hour 11 minutes. So I want to thank you so much, Tiana, for joining me.
No
And thank you
problem.
so very much. I know I promised to send you your video today, but Kerry offered me food. So as soon as I left work, I jumped in the car and I straight over here because I said when I got into the car, I was going to sit down, read the question, do the little video, and send it to you. But I was offered food. So
My
I
God.
forgot all about it. But I will make sure you get your video ASAP.
Yes,
All right,
ma'am.
ma'am? Thank you
Yes,
so much for
ma'am.
joining. All
All right.
right.
Thank
All right.
you.
All right. All right, guys. Thank you. Thank you, guys, so much for being a part of tonight's live stream. And that's all for today, folks. If you're not subscribed to my channel, please make sure that you are subscribed. Turn your notification bell on so you never miss another upload or whenever I'm going to do another live stream. Thank you so much for watching. Bye. Have a good night.